time that if you're going to make a move to head toward the pack, the winner of this game tonight will make a big stride in doing so. And if ECU wins, they'll jump Wichita State in addition to another school in the American to get toward the middle.
I think this is a huge game, Shane, for both teams, especially for WSU because it's a home game. They really need to get themselves into that middle of the pack of the AAC.
Well, with that starting five that we just talked about and told you about is a combo for Wichita State, the likes of which they probably haven't worked out much with together. Both teams come out in a zone defensively in the first possession of the game.
And I think that's a good move by both teams. Neither team shoots the ball real well from the three.
Offensive rebound and put back by Deja Green. She's fouled and will go to the line. Green averaging 5.7, so the first free throw for either team will go to ECU.
So even though both teams are going to be in a zone, they're very different types of zones. ECU is big, they're long, if you pin it, whereas the Shockers are going to try to be a little more athletic, disruptive in their zone.
That's one thing that ECU certainly does not do well, and that's shoot free throws. 58.4 as a team. We'll see if that comes into play later on, too. And a near steal in backcourt by the active Raven Johnson. And another near steal in forecourt turns into a turnover. Asia Strong, for the first time in her Shocker career against Tulane, did not score. She played 16 minutes and turned it over 4 times, did not score a point. She has 2 early turnovers here tonight, so she desperately needs to get on the beam to help Wichita State.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to score points, and so you have to take care of the ball. And Asia is really one of those types of players that if she can get going offensively, it helps her defensively. And so that's big for the Shockers.
Duncan a corner 3 over everything, and last touch by Asia Strong, according to Joseph Vasily. So Wichita State, an inauspicious beginning so far, missed their only shot and a couple of turnovers. We talked about someone needing to help Tania Thompson. Raven Johnson has been that player that's improved since the conference started. She's had her career ravaged by injury, number 11 in black. She's got it right there. She has been very good inside the conference, over 10 per game, to help out Tania Johnson's 16.7. Strong in a hurry, travels. So, boy, you talk about a do-over. Wichita State would like to have one right now and run back out of the tunnel again. 3 turnovers for Wichita State and only 1 shot attempt. They're fortunate that ECU is 0 for 4 from the floor, including 0 for 3 from Raven Johnson.
I really like Raven Johnson. She's mature. You know, this is her 6th year of playing ball. Obviously 2 years spent hurt, and she's really come on, like you said, in conference play and has really helped them. Brings them another dimension. Very good defensively, long, can score, has a nice pull-up jump shot.
Shockers break pressure without a turnover this time. Yeah, and to your point, Raven Johnson, 11 for ECU. Ignore her season stats. She's really turned it on the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, it's like 2 different seasons for her.
Strong draws the foul and will go to the line. A rarity for Asia Strong, and maybe that will get her going. She's a really good foul shooter. She just doesn't go there very often.
Right, because she's more of a face-up type of 4 player. She'd rather be away from the basket than power inside.
Foul will be assessed to Tyler Bennett, that defensive force we were telling you about during the starting lineups. Pretty formidable front line for ECU between Chambers at 6'3" and Bennett at 6'4". He's missed all 5 of theirs. And Strong gets into the scoring column and knots it up.
I think another thing to take into consideration is the Shockers are on a 3-day. You know, they came off a 3-day break, whereas ECU's had 6 days. So it'll be interesting, you know, since they're a little short on the guard spot, how that plays out and if fatigue becomes an issue later on.
Thompson clanged one off the back. That's 0 for 6 now for ECU. And a catch and shoot 3 for
great board by
McCulley,
Strong.
no good, and Strong stays after it. So she kind of ignored those first 3 turnovers, kept after it for Wichita State. She's got the first 3 for the Shockers.
Yeah, and with Baston out, which you lose one of your second best rebounder, Strong I think has to do more on the glass.
A rebound and a travel by Tyler Bennett. So we just got done telling you the Shockers would like a do-over. I think ECU's head coach Kim McNeil would vote for one too. They're 0 for 7 with that travel by Thompson as their first turnover. So 3-1 Shockers after 3 minutes.
So ECU's in a 3-2 with the wide open middle. Great job by Strong there, flash into the high post, and that kind of set up the baseline for McCauley.
In addition to turning you over like crazy, they block shots too. Nearly 5 per game, ECU, and there was 1.
They're very long with Chambers and Bennett.
Well, you run into ECU on a hot shooting night, you're going to be in trouble.
Yes.
For as much havoc as they cause defensively, and there's a kind of an unforced error. This is a inauspicious beginning for Raven Johnson now too. She's 0 for 3, and now a travel makes it back-to-back turnovers for ECU. They've been stuck on 1 for a while. 3 minutes, as a matter of fact. ECU has gone without scoring.
Great entry pass by Duncan.
Asinde just scoops it around the taller defender, Chambers. Jane Asinde has been a nice addition for Wichita State this year. Nearly 10 points, 9 rebounds per.
Yeah, very active. I think she's really added to her game later in the season. She's added some, a little scoop shot, which I think is really good because she's so athletic and quick off the floor. Improved
at the free throw line too.
Yes, absolutely.
So just a shade under 6 left here in the quarter. Wichita State has held ECU without a field goal in 8 tries. Nearly a 5-second count as Thompson flashes open. She's trying to get going. Raven Johnson trying to get going offensively for ECU. Big collision at the high post between Asinde and a line drive 3 by Chambers. A long 2, beg your pardon. Yeah. So Chambers with a little pick and pop. Baskets from unexpected places there. Chambers only averages 4.5 a game.
So against the zone, you really have to play in the spacing of the zone. You don't want to match up with zone defenders, especially on the weak side. You always want to be in what I would call the gaps.
Raven Johnson, the foul there. Bremaud comes in for Wichita State. Deja Green checks in for the Pirates. So both teams going to the bench for the first time in the quarter. We'll see how coming off the bench suits Carla Bremaud. I think we both agree she's a very good shooter, but just hasn't really unlocked it all season. And a tie ball out of that zone. That's not exactly something you expect from a zone, but active hands will get you that tie ball.
Yeah, and that's where they create a lot of their turnovers in a zone. A lot of people don't think you can create turnovers in a zone, but you can if it's active and you're aggressive and you read passing lanes. Good job by Strong to face the basket, but she needed to be aware there's another defender behind her.
So Trajada Colbert checks in for Jane Asinde for Wichita State. And Brittany Franklin in there along with Green coming off the bench for the Pirates. Midway through the first quarter.
So ECU is going to, 6'4", 6'3", 6'5" when they sub. So they got length all across bottom.
Strong wide open from the right baseline. So after a slow start, Strong has all 5 Wichita State points after a turnover by Brittany Franklin.
And that was made possible by DJ McCarty getting deep in the zone and then doing a nice kick out for Strong on the baseline.
So Wichita State out to an early lead here in the first quarter. We'll step aside.
You say goodbye. And I say hello.
With Mercari, you can easily buy or sell.
Hello, hello.
Download the Mercari app today.
I know why you say goodbye and I say
buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in. With an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options. And with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
It's time for a new routine. Just one tasty scoop. once per day that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
The Garcias are good at getting the most out of things. And making a little go a long way. And with GoodRx,
hey baby, I'm gonna go grab my prescription.
They're good at saving on prescriptions at their pharmacy too.
Hi, Mr. Garcia.
Hi, I'm here for my prescription.
Okay.
We're using GoodRx.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's a lot better. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you. Bye, Mom.
You're good with GoodRx.
Imagine a world where we have the tools to sell things that mean something, like a sunscreen made for melanated skin that blends in. Prove that things don't have to be the way that they've always been. The world's been waiting for what you do.
The FIFA World Cup qualifiers, USA, El Salvador, Thursday on ESPN2.
A slow start offensively for both clubs, although Wichita State with 4 turnovers still with a 4-point lead. And Tracy, we talked a lot about ECU and forcing the issue and turning you over. The turnover margin is just +1 for ECU because the Shockers have come up with some turnovers lately.
Yeah, to me, it's always interesting as a coach when you throw zones at teams that like to create and like to penetrate, which both these teams like to do. They like to put the ball on the floor and attack. You put a zone and it's like they completely change their mindset. And the way you attack a zone a lot of times is by attacking off the dribble and then kicking. And sometimes the zone makes you very stagnant offensively.
Well, one thing you've noticed in the first 5.5 minutes is Wichita State's got a ton of deflections. Not all of them have led to turnovers.
Right.
And Asia Strong's length maybe led to Alexia Rose dragging her foot. So now the turnovers are even at 4 apiece. And ECU has still just made 1 field goal in 9 tries. So Wichita State has gone to Bremaud and Colbert. Mosley, Franklin, and Green off the bench for ECU in there. And in the midst of that 2-3-3-2 floating zone, Bremaud with a catch and shoot 3, wouldn't go. All Pirates underneath. Rose collects the rebound.
Good execution by the Shockers. Strong flash to the high post, which drew the baseline defender, which allowed that open 3. Bremaud just couldn't knock it down.
And she wanted a double dribble as one of the Pirates got into forecourt. Inside 4 minutes in the quarter. Rose cut off. Hesitation and then a shot by Green, wouldn't go. Asia Strong rebounds and fouled in backcourt. So Asia Strong is atoned for a rough first couple of minutes for her, and then on the heels of that Tulane game where she didn't score at all, she'll finally go out. Checking in for Wichita State, Nook Bosk. She had a lot of minutes in the Tulane game. She had 6 points and 2 rebounds.
Yeah, it's getting late in the season, but for her, since she was hurt early, it's pretty, new in the season, and she's young. She's just a freshman, so.
And Bremaud lost the dribble, and then when she went to the deck, part of her body was on the sideline, and she touched it last going out of bounds. So Nook Bosk Duran in for Wichita State as their bench has had to be lengthened with Seraphine Baston's absence for the second straight game due to a foot issue.
Great help side by Bremaud.
Active hands really for both these teams so far. Nothing's been easy.
And like I said, both teams are playing a zone, but they play them very different. ECU is going to trap. They trap a lot either out top or on the baseline. And the Shockers are more content with just playing a traditional 2-3 zone. Great feed.
Adams tried to save, but saved to Book Duran, and a layup is good by McCarty, her first 2. Well, you would think 2 different fairly lengthy droughts in the same quarter would be a death sentence, but ECU is good enough defensively to cover up, and Raven Johnson hits the first 3 of the game for either team, and here they are hanging around down 3. Bremaud to Colbert. And a high degree of difficulty, little scoop by Trajana Colbert. It was Ascende on one side and Colbert on the other. And Wichita State making a little noise in the paint now.
That's a good example of going inside out against that zone, going into Trajana, and
Colbert fouled on the rebound. Going to go against Chambers. So everything going Wichita State's way over the last couple of minutes. They made 4 of their last 5 shots. ECU just 2 of 12 from the floor in the quarter. So Boss Duran inbounds to DJ McCarty. Final 2.5 minutes here of the quarter. Shockers are 5 of 9 from the floor to offset 5 turnovers.
Here comes the pressure by ECU. Great entry pass by Brima. That was a textbook example of the Shockers breaking a trapping zone defense. The ball didn't hit the floor off the dribble. They used the pass very quick.
5 assists on 6 baskets so far in the quarter for Wichita State. And a blocked shot, but that's going to be a foul, and it'll send the smaller Alexia Rose to the free throw line at just 5'7", crashed into 6'2" Trajana Colbert.
And Trajana didn't even need to swing at the ball. If she had just jumped up straight vertical, that would have been a really tough play for Rose over the bigger Colbert. Great attack by Rose. That's what you have to do. You got to attack that baseline against the zone, get the shift over, and got herself to the free throw line.
Rose about a 69% foul shooter, averages just under 5 points per. She line drives both of them in. Yeah, there was a 3-minute drought and then a 2+ minute drought in the same quarter by ECU. But they're still within 5. But Wichita State's made its last 3 from the floor. And it seems, at least for the moment, to have figured out this full court press employed by ECU. Ascende Platanova, who's in there for the first time for Wichita State, number 5 in white. Ascende had it knocked away. Bad possession for Wichita State all the way around. ECU's active hands.
Yeah, you have to be very careful putting the ball on the floor if you catch inside the paint. Ascende put the ball on the floor, and there's going to be 2 or 3 hands inside when that happens.
What a back rim three-pointer that settled through perfectly for Deja Green. The first 2 3-pointers of the night belong to the Pirates.
And you know, that's, I mean, they don't shoot the ball very well. In fact, in conference play, they're shooting very poorly from 3. So I think, you know, Coach Adams is okay with that. Hopefully it'll even out.
And half of ECU's shots so far have been 3s. They made 2 of 7. Bosk Duran, it looked like Cameron Inoue wanted a jump ball. Maybe Joseph Vasily said foul.
That's a tough call.
Yeah, that'll send it back to ECU. Take another look. Well, I don't know if that's anything.
You're right.
I mean, if it's not a foul, then it's probably not a jump ball, but.
Yeah, Raven Johnson reached in there, so I think that's what Coach Adams wanted called.
Left side 3 rattles in. So just like that, Deja Green has hit 2 threes in a row. She was 12 of 66 from there before tonight.
That's huge for ECU. If they can knock down the outside jumpers, that's going to really change their whole course of the game offensively, because that's not what they're typically strong at doing.
It's an 8-0 run in their first lead since 1-0. Bosk Duran leads for Ascende and lays it in. She kept that 1 foot down. Ascende's got 4.
Excellent job by Bosk Duran right there.
So Wichita State forges in front after 1 here in Wichita.
Treating her patients is just the first step. But then Dr. Thompson goes a step further.
Get up on GoodRx to see if we can save you.
She helps them find the best prices with GoodRx.
I know you can get discounts on prescriptions. Yeah. And it works at my pharmacy?
Yes, it does. Here you go.
Now that's caring.
I think this is, yeah, GoodRx. Hang on a second. See you in a second. Oh, perfect.
You're good with GoodRx.
It's time for a new routine. just one tasty scoop, once per day, that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers, or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari, you can easily buy or sell.
Hello.
Download the Mercari app today.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
This may sound mad, but this place is about to get even louder.
Look at this. This is the best of the best.
This is best of all time territory. Number 12, Kentucky. Number 5, Kansas. Saturday at 6 on ESPN.
Staring at fate. I'm in the lead and I'm breaking away. She want me now, but I'm making her wait.
Head coach Kim McNeil, first of all, never has to worry about who her roomie is on the road. She's married to Corey, who's also on the staff and the associate head coach. But you remember LaShonda Monk from a year or so ago, back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year in the American. So you know what Kim McNeil and this coaching staff is all about. We told you about it most of the first quarter.
And I think some people might think, you know, since you're a defensive team and you really turn people over, that you're going to play a full-court man-to-man pressure defense. But this zone has been very active, and they entice you to do things that they want you to do. They entice you to put the ball on the floor, and then they're so quick to double and trap that.
ECU is the kind of team, Tracy, that you would practice against with like 8 of your players, 3 players and 3 managers, you know? That'll go ECU's way after Trujada Colbert got her hand in the cookie jar.
And not a smart foul by Colbert. That gets her second and sends her to the bench. And I think she's important because they're going to really fly at the perimeter offensive players, so you have to be able to get the ball inside and be strong with it.
Colbert 8.5 points, 6 rebounds on the year, went for 7 and 6 against Tulane in a losing effort. Both these teams coming off a loss, by the way, and didn't score a lot of points doing it. And boy, Deja Green saw one go through the basket, and she is now 3 of 4 from 3 at only 18% from 3 coming into this one. But you can throw that right out the window now.
And they've ran the same play 3 straight times, and the Shockers have not adjusted to it well. They're setting a baseline screen for her, and she starts on the weak side, and then they slide her over.
And a 3 now by Thompson.
ECU's telling me, Shane, that's what I get for telling them they're not. That's not the strongest part of their game.
She's decent, though. 34% from 3. She is one that can knock it down. Now it's all ECUs. They get a turnover and look to.
Oh, wow. That's got it,
Yeah,
that's got to be an offensive foul.
Score in transition. It looked like Mosley ran over Bosk Duran. So that was a big stop for Wichita State as ECU with their biggest lead.
And she didn't need to. She could have just pulled up and shot a little pull-up jump shot, and they had rebounding advantage.
This gets back to our keys to the game, Tracy. Stability for Wichita State. That's 8 turnovers now, and it doesn't take long for those to turn into points. Asinde missed the point blanker, and a rebound pulled down by Bennett.
That was a great move by Asinde, though.
And trying to save and prevent a turnover, Thompson starts a run out. Asinde doesn't miss that one. She's got 6 here in the first half.
That's just an example of ECU being a little careless with the ball. Unforced turnover led to an easy run out.
So the Shockers with 8 turnovers, but ECU has given it away 7 times themselves. 2 minutes into the second quarter. Bennett line drive, free throw line jumper wouldn't go. Strong collects. McCarty weaving through the entire defense, and there's that length of Bennett.
Yes.
33rd blocked shot of the year by Tyler Bennett.
But, you know, that's a good job by DJ. She needs to, you know, they need to attack. If she gets the clean block, that's fine. You still get the ball out of bounds, but you have to get transition points against this ECU team.
Timeout by, I think, Kiva Adams. So Wichita State trailing by 3, just under 2 minutes into the second.
Forget resolutions. It's time for a new routine. One so simple, it'll actually stick. Just one tasty scoop, once per day, that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. Here's to the daily habit you'll actually want to keep. The one routine you need. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less? You can with GoodRx, the free app that gets you discounts at your local pharmacy.
If a customer is about to pay a high price, I have them check GoodRx, even if they have insurance.
You can also compare prices and have your doctor send it where it's the lowest.
Can you send it here?
Sure. It works at over 70,000 pharmacies across the country.
I use GoodRx at Walmart.
I use it at Kroger.
We're a Rite Aid family.
Here's a tip. Before you top off your prescription, just check the app.
To save on your prescriptions, check GoodRx.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari,
Hello, hello.
your unneeded things can find a new life.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
It's easy to make some money
Hello.
or find a great deal.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
Keith Adams in her 5th season at WSU. Right as they broke the huddle, you see Seraphine Basson in street clothes was right in front of her. Now she makes her way to the bench. And you talk about a coach on the floor. A lot of times that phrase gets thrown around, but Keith Adams is having to do without maybe one of her most important players tonight.
Yeah, because she does so many different things. You know, she doesn't really look to score that much, but she can. And, you know, rebounding-wise, she just always earns you so many extra possessions. And from a guard spot, that's really hard to overcome.
Yeah, careless pass into backcourt. Tracked down by Green, who's having herself a whale of a first half. Deja Green has 11 points. It's twice her average already, and there was one of the keys for ECU to have a Thompson twin. Well, Green is it so far. She's outscored Thompson 11-2.
Now she's just very active on that zone, always anticipating. She looks at the player's eyes and then runs out defensively.
Corner three is knocked down by Mariah McCulley. That's the first triple registered for Wichita State to 5 for ECU. They're 5 for 11 from deep, and they only shoot 25% on the year. Wichita State crawls within 2, though. 3 minutes gone by here in the quarter. There's another 3 hoisted up. This one a brick by Rose. And it'll stay on this end just because Asinde and Strong kind of ran into each other on a line drive jumper that barely skimmed off the rim. Those are hard to prepare for as a rebounder. And another 3 wouldn't go down, so now the Pirates maybe a little 3 happy, and that'll please Wichita State. Try to get them back into the game. There's another block shot by Tyler Bennett, but it'll stay on this end 6 seconds into the possession.
She's so long, you know, but her timing is so good because, you know, she came completely across McCarty's body but didn't even touch her because her arms are so long.
And a little left-handed scoop by Mariah McCulley. She's got 5, and the game is tied again. So Wichita State let ECU go on a run, and now reel them back in. Yeah, Tyler Bennett with 10 points and 11 rebounds in that loss against Temple. Just goes to show you how defensive-minded she is. That brought her average up to 3.5 points per game.
Great execution by ECU. Shockers are kind of in a little junk defense, a box and one on Green. I didn't rotate over when they hit that high post.
And Thompson with a back cut. She's nearly 17 a game, one of the leading scorers in the league. She's been in double figures 9 consecutive games, Tania Thompson. Strong kept one of her feet on the floor, and that will turn into a long three by McCarty and wouldn't go down. So one of those shots that missed bad enough that turned into an offensive rebound. This one goes to the Shockers with 9 to shoot.
I would like to see McCarty to kind of penetrate a little bit on that reversal and then kick.
And McCarty really didn't have anybody to throw it to her, didn't think she did, and finally to try to beat the 5-second call, just fired one across the baseline. That turns into Wichita State's 10th turnover.
I think that's the 3rd turnover on an out of bounds underneath their own basket.
It might be the 2nd on McCarty. Shockers led 13-6 early in the first quarter, and another 3 goes down by Deja Green. This is incredible.
Yeah, how do you not run her off that 3-point line, though?
She has 14.
Strong was there, but she just let her shoot it. You need to force that kid to put it on the floor and do something other than what she's been doing, and just not a good effort defensively.
Ascende got loose from Bennett, and too strong with a jumper. Rose comes out of there with a rebound. Green into the corner, Rose, her line drive 3 wouldn't go. Thompson runs it down on the weak side. By the way, Deja Green's 3-point field goals made personal best this year, 2. At 5 or 4 or 5 in the half. Bennett gets her first basket.
That was a nice job by ECU, being patient, working the ball, got the ball into the high post, and a nice look by Bennett.
Green has made as many as 5 in a game, but not with ECU. She did it prior to coming to ECU, and now Wichita State answers back. So the Shockers with their 2nd 3-pointer, and McCulley's got both of those. So McCulley's got 8.
So ECU's using Chambers as kind of a high post screener, and then they dive her down when the ball goes to the corner. Great feed.
And Strong blew the layup, and she needs to be careful in backcourt.
Yeah.
1 on 4. She's lucky she didn't pick up a foul. That would have been just her first, but Wichita State would have been their 2nd. Both teams have played a pretty clean second quarter, 1 foul apiece. And ECU has slowly but surely got their shooting stats up thanks to Deja Green. It's gone 5 for 7 from the floor. Green calling for it.
That's what you got to do. You got to run her off the line. Oh, I think they called a foul there, but I think she traveled anyway.
Yeah,
Good job of running her off the 3-point line, making her do something other than have a clean look.
And that was a moving screen, I guess, on Bennett, and that's her 2nd foul. So they would have just as soon had Green with a travel than a moving screen. So that might be a developing situation. 3 minutes remaining in the half. A career half by Deja Green. 14 points. Strong off the side of the backboard, and here comes Deja Green.
I just don't think WSU should settle for those 3-point shots.
You could probably say the same for ECU besides Green.
Yep.
You know, they are 2 for 11 from 3 by players not named Green.
So WSU's doing a nice job. They're getting somebody to the high post, but then once the ball does go to the high post, those wings need to dive down. See how that bottom of that zone comes up with the high post. They need to dive the weak side guard down, and that will be an easy dump pass.
And
What did he
one of the
call it?
officials was
3
saying that
seconds?
Asia Strong actually touched it last. So it was a kind of a pinball machine action that gave the ball to Wichita State first. So now it's kind of turned into a war of attrition. Both teams turning it over. Both teams pounding the glass, which is what they're normally accustomed to. Green, another three. That wouldn't go. That would have tied her career high when she was at Wofford. She had 5 in a game with them. And Asinde is going to earn a rare trip to the free throw line. There's only been 6 free throws shot in the first half, too. Ella Ancio will check in for the first time for Wichita State. Asinde to the line. She's got 6 points and 2 rebounds.
Nice take by Cindy. Initiating the contact, being aggressive.
Rose's first personal foul. So Jane Asinde, 9.9 and 9.1. In her first year in the program from Grayson College. First free throw is good. So Asinde with 7 points, 66% foul shooter. But she's been on the rise over the last month or so. And Ancio kept it alive, and Asinde couldn't quite grab it.
So Green's out, so they're back in just to their basic zone, not a box and one. Great job by Duncan.
Duncan with a good anticipation, gets the steal. Pull up in transition, wouldn't go. Missed by McCarty, rebound by McCulley, and she traveled. So this is becoming an epidemic for Wichita State. They had 22 turnovers in their 15-point loss in New Orleans most recently.
Yeah, trying to do a little bit too much. They had numbers. And when you rebound against ECU inside, you got to get the ball out. You can't try to go in against those trees.
Little leaning three-pointer wouldn't go for Raven Johnson. Her quiet first half continues. She's 1 of 6 from the floor. Shocker still down by just 6. Or by 3, I should say. And Ancio had it blocked out of bounds. 61 seconds left. And that's now 4 blocked shots for ECU.
So we'll see if WSU can do a little better job of executing an inbounds play. Clear out for Asinde. Great call.
Gathered herself and scored. She got 9. So it's really been Asinde for the Shockers,
right.
and Green for ECU, although McCulley pitched in there with a little flurry of points too for WSU. Asinde with another rebound. So Wichita State has held Tania Thompson to only 5 first half points, but Green has picked up the slack, and we'll see if Wichita State can sneak into the locker room with a lead here with a basket prior to the gun. 10 seconds. Asinde skip pass, now into the corner for 3, short. Rebound pulled down by Thompson, and halftime is here. So ECU with a 1-point lead at the break, and certainly an unlikely hero, Tracy, for ECU. Deja Green had a career first half.
Yeah, she was outstanding. I thought, offensively, obviously hitting those 3-point shots, but I thought she was really good on the defensive end. She caused a lot of turnovers for against WSU on the defensive end with her anticipation, and so she was outstanding first half on both ends of the floor.
Wichita State went on a 6-0 run to get within 1, and halftime is here as we will dive into the numbers, more analysis, and back with you from Charles Koch Arena after this.
Forget resolutions. It's time for a new routine. One so simple, it'll actually stick. Just 1 tasty scoop, once per day, that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. Here's to the daily habit you'll actually want to keep. The one routine you need. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
Hi, my name is Leanne. I have been going through some just stomach pains and problems for quite a while and came across the Everly Well test. Everything was easy to understand and was just really excited to see what the outcome would be, and come to find out that almonds were on my high sensitivity list. And so just was so eye-opening that even though I was eating clean, something within that clean list could potentially be causing me inflammation in my body. Thank you, Everly Well.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari,
Hello, hello.
your unneeded things can find a new life.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
It's easy to make some money or find a great deal.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
T-ball on Friday, swim lessons on Saturday. Sunday, we have a dance recital.
Oh, so car shopping on never.
Oh, never works.
How about car shopping right here, right now?
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
With Car Gurus, you can do more from home.
Pre-qualify for financing, value your trade-in.
Even shop great deals from cars that can be delivered right to your family room.
Or maybe to your driveway.
We have one.
Driveway would be better.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
We're gonna get out of your hair.
Yeah, just out the way you came in.
Car Gurus. Get your great deal delivered.
The minute he touches the ball, he is a threat.
Kyrie Irving's in his bag, now what's up?
Steph Curry's the greatest shooter God ever created.
Steph hit and Trey, it ain't nothing, that's what's up.
It's Saturday primetime. Nets Warriors on ABC.
ECU right on schedule for the first 20 minutes as far as turnovers forced. They have forced Wichita State into 12, but a 4.5-minute drought for ECU let Wichita State back in it, Tracy. Shane Dennis, Tracy Anderson back with you here courtside. ECU allowed Wichita State to go on a little 6-0 mini run, but it took 4 minutes in a first half that easy looks and fluid offense has really been hard to come by.
Yeah, the first 2.5 minutes of the first quarter, I don't think either team was awake. But yeah, it's been a little series of runs. You know, Green really got ECU started with back-to-back, I think back-to-back three three-pointers. And Asendi's been good for WSU and McCauley. But it's so interesting that you have 12 turnovers for WSU and 10 for East Carolina, so that's why they're so close.
And really the points off turnovers haven't been all that big of a deal. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Our first half highlights coming at you now. Is Tracy mentioned Deja Green came off the bench and scored 14 points on 5 of 8 from the floor, and she is literally the only player for ECU that's making scoring look easy. Wichita State's Asia Strong, as you see there, knocking down a jumper, atoned for a couple of really early turnovers that kept this game 3-1 and 7-3.
Yeah, and a good response by Strong, because in the past she had a tendency, if things weren't going well, to kind of really stay stuck in that poor performance. But she's responded well, and she's done a good job on the boards. I think they needed her.
And there's Deja Green. We saw her first one that bounced off the back iron, straight up into the air and down through the net. That was her first 3. She's gone on to make 4 of 6 as Deja Green came into this game shooting 18.2% from three-point range. So you know it as well as anybody, Tracy, as a coach. When you see a player see the ball go through the net, doesn't matter what they've done prior to tonight.
Exactly. And they've all 3 been from the same spot. So they run a little play for her to open her up. So she must like that baseline on the left side. But she's played very well.
Take a look at some halftime stats when we continue from Wichita.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari,
Hello, hello.
your unneeded things can find a new life.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
It's easy to make some money or find a great deal.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Forget resolutions. It's time for a new routine. One so simple, it'll actually stick. Just one tasty scoop, once per day, that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. Here's to the daily habit you'll actually want to keep. The one routine you need. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
T-ball on Friday, swim lessons on Saturday. Sunday, we have a dance recital.
Oh, so car shopping on never.
Oh, never works.
How about car shopping right here, right now?
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
With Car Gurus, you can do more from home.
Pre-qualify for financing, value your trade-in.
Even shop great deals from cars that can be delivered right to your family room.
Or maybe to your driveway.
We have one.
Driveway would be better.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
We're gonna get out of your hair.
Yeah, just out the way you came in.
Car Gurus. Get your great deal delivered.
Engaged and not sure what to do next? Zola is the one place to start. Start with venues and vendors near you that fit your style and budget. Then explore save the dates and invites. Get free samples to see them in real life. Keep guests updated on a free matching website. And even stream virtual events on it for free. Then build your registry. Add gifts to make married life even sweeter. Get started for free at Zola.com.
East Carolina's biggest lead in that first half was 7. As a matter of fact, they led 29-22 with 4:32 left and didn't score after that. They let Wichita State right back in it. We'll take a look at our first half stats, a presentation of Bud Light, and it was the Deja Green story in that first half. The bench points specifically, Deja Green 14, Trajana Colbert 4. And really, if Wichita State wants to get out of here with a win, you would think clamping down on someone averaging 5.7 points per game is going to be the answer because she's just as hot as can be.
Yeah, you would think that it would be Thompson or Bennett kind of leading the way, but it's been Green, and she's really shown out for ECU, and that's helped them. Honestly, they should be ahead by more, but WSU kind of scraped back those last 3 minutes of the second quarter and made a game.
And looking at the stats, the season stats, that is, ECU simply doesn't shoot that many three-pointers.
No.
So the fact that Green was 4 of 6, and as a team they were 6 of 19, that's got to maybe have Keitha Adams scratching her head. What's going on over there in the ECU huddle over there?
Well, and as a coach, it's hard because you believe that the percentages will play out. Right. So if they're hot the first half, the second half is going to kind of even out. You don't want your kids to go away from your scouting report, except maybe for her, since Green's in rhythm, but don't rush out on other shooters just because percentage-wise it's not in their favor to do so. And
if you're Kim McNeil, head coach at ECU, you're wanting the averages or the level to find Tania Thompson because she averages 17 points a game and she's been really quiet.
Right, and if Thompson, your leading scorer and they basically shut her down, Coach McNeil, I think, has to be happy that they're up by 1, and Green's the reason because she's come off the bench and given them a boost.
We'll take a look at the upcoming schedules for both clubs and get you set for the second half after this.
A new home and new projects go hand in hand. With the Home Depot app, you'll pick it up in no time. You can pick up new skills in our Homeowner 101 workshops. Pick up new power tools with a tap. Pick up the things you need at our convenient lockers. Or even pick them up right from your doorstep. Pick up more of what you need so you can do more of what you love. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
The Garcias are good at getting the most out of things. And making a little go a long way. And with GoodRx,
Hey, baby, I'm gonna go grab my prescription.
they're good at saving on prescriptions at their pharmacy, too.
Hi, Mr. Garcia.
Hi, I'm here for my prescription.
Okay.
We're using GoodRx.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's a lot better. See you next time.
See you next time. Thank you. Bye, Mom.
You're good with GoodRx.
I'm totally debt-free now. How? I'm a Dasher. Signing up was super easy. It only took me a couple minutes to complete, and I didn't even need a bank account. I'm getting paid to drive around in my car making deliveries. I'm literally my own boss, which means my schedule stays flexible. I work whenever and wherever I want. No boring 9 to 5. And there are opportunities in over 7,000 cities. The best part is, I get to cash out daily with no extra fees. I never have to wait for payday again. Download the DoorDash driver app to get started.
I've been in this business for 25 years now. It has literally wreaked havoc on my hair. One day it just started getting thinner and thinner, and then I heard about minoxidil. The hairdresser was like, you need to use this every day. Through hers, I don't even have to go to a pharmacy. I use it twice a day, put it right on my scalp, and my hair has grown back, and it's thicker and fuller and more amazing than even it was 10 years ago.
Start your hair journey at forhers.com.
Love Every is joy. Joy.
Joy.
Love Every is peace of mind from the minute we get our box to unboxing it. Knowing that my kids always have high quality, developmentally appropriate toys to play with.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Really what it's all about is making learning fun.
Thank you, Love Every.
We are a Love Every family all the way.
It's been over a month since ECU has won on the road. That's their only road win. They're 1-7, but they're 20 minutes away from one here in Wichita tonight. The upcoming schedule's a presentation of Dillon's, and the road trip continues for ECU this Saturday. They'll go to New Orleans, and then back at home, back at home against SMU. And then 2 of the next 3 after that are home, including a revenge matchup with Wichita State. Shockers, for their part, on their schedule, they will continue the homestand this Saturday at high noon. You can see it right here on ESPN Plus as Wichita State takes on UCF. And then they'll hit the road. 2 of the next 4 on the road. Tulsa and SMU on the Plus right here in Wichita. Keys for the second half. First of all, Tracy, I think the rebounds will be there to be had if you're ECU, regardless of how things have been going shooting-wise for Deja Green or otherwise. Rebound the ball, and they probably should be in pretty good shape. As far as Wichita State is concerned, when they've broken pressure and continued to attack, it was kind of few and far between, but it worked out in that first half, and it seemed like a long time ago when they were finishing breaking the pressure.
Yeah, and they need to cut down on the unforced turnovers, and they kind of did a better job of that in the second quarter. But again, it's going to be the team that kind of puts their will on this game.
Yeah.
What's it's going to be? Is it going to be offensive rebounding for WSU, or is it going to be ECU turning them over?
Wichita State was plus 12 on points in the paint in the first half, 18-6. But again, just that out of nowhere, 6 of 19 from three-point range first half. Well over half of their shots were from three-point range, and Green made 4 of them, and Thompson and Johnson with 1 apiece. So it'll be interesting to see what Kim McNeil has her team do. Be content to take three-pointers, because Shockers gave them a bunch of them, but they just don't normally hit them before tonight.
And I think the Shockers are going to continue with their defensive philosophy coming into this game, and they're going to need to do that. But they're going to keep an eye on Green, obviously. You have to.
Individually, Trajada Colbert picked up 2 fouls. Mosley had 2 quick ones off the bench for ECU, but Tyler Bennett has 2 also. She's going to inbound right in front of us. So 2 personals for Bennett, 2 for Mosley for ECU. Nobody else with more than 1 for either team besides Colbert, who got 2 in 6 minutes.
Shockers are back out in their zone. Starts in like a 1-1-3, but it's really a 2-3.
Thompson, who is really quiet, handling it out top. And Green starts off this half on the bench for ECU. A deflection turns into a jump ball and a turnover for ECU. That is 11 for them.
It's a good job by the Shockers being active in the zone, hands up, getting 2 deflections and then the tie-up.
Carla Bremaud starting for Wichita State to begin the second half. She had 2 first-half assists, comes up with a steal. And it was the ECU turnovers that allowed Wichita State to hang around. Again, the Pirates led by 7 about midway through the second quarter, and then they didn't score the rest of the half.
And they're in a 3-2 kind of a matchup zone.
Short corner jumper knocked down by McCulley. She hesitated and found that nobody was on her, so she knocks it down and gives the Shockers the lead.
But that's exactly what's open against the 3-2. You overload the baseline and you only have 2 defenders able to defend multiple players. Good execution by the Shockers.
McCulley with 10. And a moving screen that's going to go against Tiara Chambers.
Good call by the official.
That'll be her second personal, first of the half. So Chambers, one of those players not asked to score a lot. 4 points, 4 rebounds. Now has 2 fouls in the game.
But she's second in the team in blocks and actually 7th in the AAC in blocks. So
she's a lot like Tyler Bennett,
yeah.
Just out there to swat shots.
Twin Towers.
Ascende in the high post.
Oh, great move by Ascende, but even a better defensive play by Bennett.
And the ball landed right in McCulley's lap, and she banks it in. Boy, I thought Ascende was going to get a layup, and then Tyler Bennett swatted it away.
Two players doing things that they do very well. Ascende putting the ball on the floor and Bennett recovering and being able to block the shot.
3 blocks for Bennett tonight. And Asia Strong clears the rebound. So ECU on quite a drought dating back to the second quarter. A little teardrop in the lane wouldn't go down. Rebound by Chambers on the miss by McCarty.
That's a good decision by McCarty. Just didn't fall, but that's a good look.
Forced jumper, tough jumper knocked down by Thompson.
That's what Thompson, I think, does as well as anybody I've seen this year in the AAC. So smooth on her jump shot, elevates. That's kind of the first, clean look she's had, and she didn't really have a clean look. Just tough shot.
Strong wanted 3 on a good pass by McCarty. That wouldn't go. So here comes ECU back the other way.
Great decision by Johnson to pull it out. ECU did not have numbers.
So the Pirates went from up 7 to down 3 in a course of about 5 minutes on the clock. Trying to right the ship. Back-to-back jumpers wouldn't go. And an offensive rebound and put back by Raven Johnson. Johnson was quiet in the first half, save for a 3-pointer. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. Mosley will check in for ECU eventually.
Good job by ECU attacking the offensive glass. A little miscommunication on the Shockers. They had 2 players running out to contest a shot, which left the backside open for an offensive rebound.
Raven Johnson just 52.4 from the stripe. So far tonight, ECU 3 of 5. And that spins out. An offensive rebound, though, by Rose. And she couldn't hang on to it. Boy, Rose.
Yep, smallest player on the floor.
Great job on the missed free throw, but couldn't collect it. And again, that might be something that comes into play tonight. ECU's poor free throw shooting. 58.4 on the season, 3 for 6 so far tonight. Late in the clock for Wichita State.
Yeah.
And not much going. That trip down the floor for Wichita State, and losing it out of bounds was Raven Johnson. So the Shockers get a break.
Yeah, not a good offensive possession by the Shockers. The ball stayed at the top of the key with no movement. Never got that zone to shift.
Turnovers now 14-12. ECU gets the lead that nobody wants to have.
Oh, great move by Asinde.
And one. Jane Asinde doing work for Wichita State with a three-point opportunity.
This is a perfect example, Shane, of being patient when you catch. Face up, saw the defense, did a little reverse pivot. Just excellent footwork by the junior.
So Asinde draws the third foul on Mosley. She knocks down the free throw for the three-point play. Jane Asinde now 12 points to join McCulley with a dozen. Checking in is Josephs for the first time for ECU. Sienna Josephs only plays about 10 minutes a game. And now Asinde with a steal. And finishes.
Tough finish with the left hand.
Jane Asinde forces the 15th ECU turnover, so Shockers kind of turning the tables with his full court pressure. Boy, and Asinde doing it all here in the quarter. She draws the foul on Bennett in backcourt. That's Bennett's third foul. Boy, Jane Asinde is really making a statement over the last couple of minutes on both ends of the floor.
Good job of not fouling and then grabbing the rebound.
So now you've got Bennett with 3 fouls, Mosley with 3. Bennett's really the big one, as Mosley just kind of a role player, but Tyler Bennett's a big part of ECU's interior defense, and now she's on the bench.
They're isolating Asinde and just letting her go to work on the block.
And Chambers is in there guarding her. She's got 2 fouls too.
Great box out by Josephs.
And now Asinde is down and hurt.
Ooh.
Wow, so just like that, the tables have turned for Jane Asinde, who's having an unbelievable first portion of the third quarter. She's down in a heap. And the Shockers already down 1 point guard. Asinde was just unbelievably active at both ends of the floor. We'll try and see if we can tell what happened to her.
Oh, come on, down on her foot.
That landed on the edge of somebody's foot. Yep.
Ankle.
So hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, although all of those are painful. Just depends on for how long. So Green checks in for ECU with the Shockers leading by 6. Green brings her 14 points back off the bench.
So Green's out on the floor. The Shockers got to know where she is at all times.
Strong pulls down the rebound on the miss by Thompson. Tania Thompson now 3 of 12 from the floor.
Great feed. Oh.
Colbert couldn't quite handle it, at least initially. It went off of Chambers last. So Wichita State with a flurry here in the third quarter leads by 6.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari,
Hello, hello.
your unneeded things can find a new life.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
It's easy to make some money
Hello.
or find a great deal.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
Forget resolutions. It's time for a new routine. One so simple, it'll actually stick. Just 1 tasty scoop, once per day, that supports your immunity, energy, and gut health. Here's to the daily habit you'll actually want to keep. The one routine you need. AG1 by Athletic Greens.
Hard work? Sure. Guesswork? No thank you. Because when you're on a mission, you want to get it right the first time. That's where the Home Depot comes in, with an app to rent and reserve the right tools with just a tap. With convenient image search options, and with the ability to see how something looks in your space before you even buy it. It's how the Home Depot takes the guesswork out of the hard work. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
This may sound mad, but this place is about to get even louder.
Look at this. This is the best of the best.
This is best of all time territory. Number 12, Kentucky. Number 5, Kansas. Saturday at 6 on ESPN.
Shockers have scored 9 of the first 11 points here in the third quarter, lead it by 6 thanks to Jane Asende's 5 points in a row. We talked earlier about the importance really for both these teams to win this game tonight, to feel like that you're part of the race. And if Wichita State should happen to win, by winning percentage, they'll jump Houston and kind of snuggle in there between Memphis and Cincinnati. If ECU does it, they jump Wichita State, obviously have one on the Shockers head-to-head, and then they feel like they're right back in it as they'll be right next to Cincinnati. So it's the baby steps, I guess, at this point in the season when you're either in the middle or down at the bottom. It's like, okay, one game at a time, and we can really make up some ground.
And you have 4 or 5 teams there that are so tight. That's why it's really important to get that home court win, against teams that are evenly matched.
That was something right there.
I think Asia Strong was called for an offensive moving screen.
After Joseph's was called for a hold. So 2 fouls and nothing happened except for, in essence, a turnover by Wichita State. Foul on either team. Strong kept it alive, and it'll go to Wichita State after Chambers tried to save it. So the struggles continue for Tania Thompson. She's 3 for 13, Tracy, 1 of 8 from three-point range. Averages nearly 17. She's stuck on 7.
Yeah, just hasn't really found the rhythm, but, a lot of game left, and she's capable of putting up big numbers in a hurry.
Colbert got double teamed, couldn't finish, and then she thought she knocked it off of either Chambers or maybe Sienna Joseph. I couldn't tell who that was down on the block, but
there was an example of Chambers affecting, the shot by Colbert. Oh, great
Green
trap by the
dribbled right
Shockers.
into a trap, and Wichita State's going to make it pay off. Layup by DJ McCarty.
Yeah, the cardinal sin, dribbling right across half court on the sideline and picking it up.
Asia Strong picks up her second personal. So in a first half where fouls were really few and far between, there's been 7 total here in the quarter. Neither team in the bonus, obviously, yet. The next Shocker, or the next ECU foul put Wichita State in the bonus.
Oh, great hands by McCarty.
Poked away by DJ McCarty. On the run, 2-on-3, and then she's bumped in the open floor by Green. It'll be Green's first foul, and Wichita State should be heading to the free throw line.
And I know McCarty's the one that poked the ball away down there, but actually I think that defensive play really was set up by Colbert. Colbert's getting screened, and then she had the ability to step off and kind of hedge that ball screen, which allowed McCarty to kind of poke the ball away.
Speaking of steals, Mariah McCulley has been credited with 1 tonight. That gives her 14 consecutive games with at least 1 steal.
She's just a little thief in the night. She always has her hands active and in passing lanes. And I think one of the things she does, she's just so good at anticipating.
Shockers have 13 turnovers, but only 4 by way of ECU steals. WSU has 9 steals of the 17 ECU turnovers. And an offensive rebound and put back by McCulley. Now Wichita State starting to put a little something together.
That's just McCulley being a Johnny on the spot, staying at home and not just anticipating they weren't going to get the offensive rebound.
Colbert's outlet, not enough juice on it. Green with a steal.
Great read by Green. She saw that coming.
And a line drive 3 over everything, but Joseph runs it down. This is a 10-0 Shocker run, which made that turnover by Trajada Colbert hurt a little more. Good hedge by DJ McCarty, and Strong collects the rebound. Now all of a sudden ECU can't throw it in the ocean. They are ice cold.
Yeah, and the Shockers have done a really good job of keeping ECU off the offensive boards.
The hesitation, a behind the back dribble by McCulley. She's fouled. And this is, again, a 10-0 Shocker run. And ECU's only scored 2 points since the 4:32 mark of the second quarter.
Nice move by McCauley. She's so good with the ball, so smooth.
This is a 7.5-minute span where ECU has a total of 2 points. And Mariah McCulley working on 14 and 5 rebounds.
And the scoring for WSU has really come off the defensive end. They've turned ECU over in the open floor. They've gotten some easy buckets in transition.
20 points off turnovers now,
yes.
Tracy. They have really piled up in the third.
Yeah, that's huge.
12-0 Shocker run. Now McCulley with 16 points.
And the Shockers have really kind of caused ECU some trouble with this three-quarter court press. But Green,
Green's three wouldn't go down, and Colbert with a block from behind. And it shouldn't be undersold, Tracy, that the back end of this pressing Wichita State defense is Trajana Colbert.
Yes, and that's where Cindy was playing before she got hurt, and they're kind of running like a center fielder, so they're looking to anticipate and intercept. Great inbounds play by ECU.
Well, a missed bunny by Bennett, but she got her own, and nobody was around her, so she has 4.
And Bennett's going, I'm sorry I blew that assist, but I did pad my rebounds. Good execution by ECU, and they needed that bucket.
Cindy back in there.
Yeah, good to see that.
Grima for 3 wouldn't go. Wichita State has only made 2 of those, both by McCulley. And ECU, by the way, 0 for 4 from 3 in the quarter. So kind of an answer to our question, will they continue to try and will they stay hot? The answer to both so far is not really. Colbert with another rebound. ECU is now 2 out of 14 in the quarter.
Good decision by McCauley there. She likes to attack, but there were no numbers in her favor, so good decision. Oh,
McCauley,
great entry feed. Yeah,
and
she did.
Colbert was working hard, but dragged a pivot foot before she put the ball on the floor. So Duncan will check in for Brimall. And that'll do it for the moment. Final 143 of the quarter, owned by Wichita State so far. 16-4. Shockers enjoying the scoring advantage in the quarter. ECU just 1 for the last 12 from the floor after starting 1 for 6. And Green's 3 won't go, so that well has dried up a little bit. A jump ball will stay on this end.
That's what I love about Green, because she thinks every shot she takes should go in, and it was a good look. In rhythm.
And considering ECU only has 2 baskets in the quarter, why not?
Yeah.
Fire her up and see if she can get hot again. Strong forces Green way out top. And that jumper rolls in. It's only the second 2-pointer for Deja Green.
Just a little ball screen, and the defender went under, and she made him pay.
Deja Green with 16 points, first of the second half. Final minute of the third quarter.
They're going to trap out of the great trap by ECU.
And Bosch Duran bounced it up top, and a foul as Johnson was a half step slow. Pushed DJ McCarty, who wisely came to the pass.
Yes, I was just going to say that. That would have been a turnover on Bosch Duran, but McCarty did exactly that. Came to the ball, caused the foul.
McCarty 5 points, 3 assists so far. And Wichita State in this quarter, only 3 turnovers after 12 giveaways in the first half. That free throw is good. So the Shockers are now +4 from the free throw line. McCarty 2 out of 3 from there.
Cleaning the turnovers up is what got them this lead. That and being able to defensive rebound and not giving ECU extra shots.
And a turnover gives it back to Wichita State with just under 32 seconds left. That is 18 turnovers now for ECU.
The Shockers can pretty much take the last down to with 1 second left on the clock.
Yeah, as long as the ball hits the rim, the quarter's going to end here.
Oh, great feed.
Asinde couldn't finish, got her own, still couldn't finish, still time for Strong.
For it.
And Wichita State struck out on 3 tries from point blank. But the Shockers trailed by 1 at half, lead by 11 heading to the fourth quarter.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less? You can with GoodRx, the free app that gets you discounts at your local pharmacy.
If a customer is about to pay a high price, I have them check GoodRx, even if they have insurance.
You can also compare prices and have your doctor send it where it's the lowest.
Can you send it here?
Sure. It works at over 70,000 pharmacies across the country.
I use GoodRx at Walmart.
I use it at Kroger.
We're a Rite Aid family.
Here's a tip. Before you top off your prescription, just check the app.
To save on your prescriptions, check GoodRx.
You say goodbye, and I say hello.
With Mercari,
Hello, hello.
your unneeded things can find a new life.
I know why you say goodbye, and I say hello.
It's easy to make some money
Hello.
or find a great deal.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, goodbye, hello, goodbye.
Buy and sell almost anything from home. Mercari, your marketplace.
Have you ever watched your little one try something new? Maybe they struggle, throw the toy, cry. What about the moment they try again? And it happens. The ball drops into the hole, the bead gets threaded, the puzzle piece fits just so. When it just clicks for your little one, that look on their face, it's everything. You both feel that sense of accomplishment and joy. Bring home more of these moments with the Play Kits by Love Every. Expert designed toys that deliver the right challenge at the right time for your child's developing brain.
Engaged, but not sure what to do next? Plan your whole wedding at Zola. Start with venues and vendors near you. We'll find ones that fit your style and budget. Then explore Save the Dates. Enjoy free personalized samples and free change the dates just in case. Add a free matching website to keep guests updated. You can even host virtual events on it for free. Build a registry that lives on your website too. Fill it with gifts, experiences, even cash funds. Start planning from home at Zola.com.
Well, ECU had a third quarter to forget, Tracy, and again, the cardinal sin of a ball handler against the trap is to pick it up near the sideline. That turned into 2 quick, easy ones for Wichita State. Shockers now have 20 points off 18 ECU turnovers.
Yeah, that little three-quarter press by the Shockers have really caused ECU some trouble. If they weren't turning it over, they were taking quick shots, and Wichita State did a nice job of solidifying the rebounds.
It was an 8 turnover, 7 foul third quarter for ECU. And now the Pirates and Kim McNeil think it might be now or never, because Bennett's back in there with 3 fouls. Mosley starts the fourth quarter with 3. And in a low possession game, at least until now, ECU down 11, figures they got to go.
Right. And the Shockers are going to want to use clock.
And Asinde just spins it in off the glass like she was on the playground.
And then have Asinde take him one-on-one and
kidding.
finish. She's been exceptional tonight, putting the ball on the floor at the right times and being patient.
16 points for Jane Asinde on 7 out of 12.
You don't want that. You don't want to stop the clock. The clock is definitely in WSU's favor. Little over-aggressiveness by Bosch-Duran.
This equals the biggest lead for Wichita State. They've led twice by this margin. So Green on the floor with 16 points. Everybody else is combined for 9 tonight. So we'll see where ECU turns. Now, left-handed layup is good by Layla Acox, who just checked in. She's only played 9 games this year, so that answers that, at least to start.
Shockers came out in their own little trap, and ECU did a good job.
And Asia Strong just did what Green did coming out of the break that we showed you the highlight. Difference is Keitha Adams recognized it and called the timeout.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's what you say when plant-based milk is real good to ya. It can be coconut smoothies, almond milk, and cookies. Let us take you to nirvana with the oat milk of your dreams. An almond cornucopia. My personal utopia. Hallelujah. It's Califia Farms.
If you want a lover, I'll do anything you ask me to. If you want a partner, take my hand. Or if you want to strike me down in anger, here I stand. I'm your man.
Joamsbo, the new fragrance.
I like to get up to 30% off my auto insurance with Safe Pilot.
Mr. Gronkowski, USAA is for the military community and their families. That's what makes us special.
Oh, but I'm special.
USAA, only for the military community.
What drove us to create the most rugged Honda vehicles yet? It's the courage to challenge convention. Rise to the challenge with the Honda Pilot and all-new Passport Trail Sport.
ECU has cooled off to 29.2% from the floor, aided by, I guess if you want to say it that way, 4 for 18 in this half. Meanwhile, Wichita State right around 42% from the floor. They've shored up the turnovers, and slowly but surely almost every statistical category has swung toward Wichita State.
Yeah, they've done a much better job of taking care of the ball, being strong with it, being deliberate.
And being stable with it.
Yes.
That's one of our keys. Just have some stability when handling the ball without Seraphine Baston.
Because ECU is going to put a lot of hands on the ball.
Strong actually got a decent look and knocked it down. Asia Strong's first three. That's the third for Wichita State, and the Shockers up 14.
That was an excellent job by Asia to kind of wrap around behind McCarty. McCarty was kind of in a pickle because she'd picked the ball up and didn't have her dribble. And Asia, instead of staying in front, wrapped around right behind her, so she had that open three. Nice execution.
Answer, no good. Acox with a rebound goes to the deck. That will certainly end up in a tie ball. We'll keep it here. Just a shade over, or under 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Ryan McCulley will come in for Wichita State.
Nice job by Acox, keeping the ball alive and giving ECU another opportunity.
Might turn out to be a big possession if they score here.
Right. Because offensive rebounds have been hard to come by for them this half.
Foul on Wichita State will send the shot clock back up to 20. Rose trying to make a play, couldn't, and a long two wouldn't go. Putback wouldn't go, and Bennett will get a trip to the free throw line. Bennett at 6'4", has kind of been quiet here tonight. She's been saddled with foul trouble, but she'll go to the free throw line. I think the foul was on McCulley. That would be her third. But Tyler Bennett is only 8 for 23 from the free throw line. That's 34.8. And that's been an Achilles heel for ECU. 54.8 as a team. That's really as big a reason as any that's held them back and held them down to 1-4 in the league.
Yeah, and you know, for a team that's aggressive and gets a lot of steals, you know, that can be big in games.
Ross Duran did a good job of coming to the ball. She draws a foul in backcourt. So first foul of the quarter on ECU. Wichita State's been whistled for 3 already.
Coach Adams had talked about when Bosch Duran came in how she liked her intelligence, her IQ on the basketball court. She's not big, but she's very savvy.
That particular time, she wasn't on the same page with Strong. She broke forward when Strong wasn't looking at her, and then Strong came back to her, and Duran was gone by then. Isis Adams has checked in for ECU, Tracy.
I think this is a great play by Coach McNeil to go to a man-to-man. They got to kind of cause some hectic. Great job by WSU, though. Very calm. Use the clock now and get a good shot. You don't want to get complacent, but you don't want to hurry.
Splitting a double team was McCulley, but she lost it on the dribble, and now a couple of players getting feisty down low. Acox being one from ECU. That was a held ball, by the way. It'll stay with Wichita State with 7 to shoot. So no extracurricular activities that got anybody in too hot of water.
Yeah, and a good job by the officials stepping in there early. And, you know, both teams are playing hard.
And Strong was bumped by Acox.
Time move by Asia Strong.
And I think maybe, just maybe, Tracy, that Asia Strong knew that Acox's temper was flaring a little bit in the last possession, so she decided, I'm going to take her off the dribble and see what happens.
Yeah, that was excellent. Great body control. That's a big-time move.
Foul.
Yeah, that's a big. Sorry, Shane. That's a big-time move for Asia, and at a pivotal part in the game because it kind of seemed like ECU was, you know, trying to make it a little interesting, and she can make this a 3-point play, which would be huge for the Shockers.
And Acox never could body her up evenly to make that an offensive foul.
Correct.
Strong knew that she had her by basically a half body length and keep angling away from her, and she wasn't going to get an offensive foul. And a trap turns into a steal for Wichita State. Strong running the floor. Tough catch there as the pass from McCarty was incomplete and out of bounds. So Wichita State turns it over.
Not a good angle by McCarty, really, and they didn't really have an advantage anyway. She needed to pull the ball back out and use some clock, but she's young. She'll learn from that.
So the big scorers for ECU, either on the season or lately, have both really struggled tonight. That banker is good by Thompson. One of those right there is Tanaya Thompson. She's got 9, but she's needed 16 shots to get it. And Raven Johnson, who's been on the rise lately, is just 1 of 9 tonight and 3 total points.
Yeah, she's really been quiet tonight, and that's hurt ECU. They needed her scoring. We knew it wasn't going to be a real high-scoring game between these two teams.
McCulley,
the way they play.
Corner 3, trying to deliver a dagger. A timeout for ECU as Wichita State has the lead swell up to 17. Timeout on the floor. All Shockers in the second half.
It's a gas card. You can always use gas.
Always.
But you have a...
Thank you.
Evolve your journey in the first ever Tucson plug-in hybrid EV.
If you want a lover, I'll do anything you ask me to. If you want a partner, take my hand. Or if you want to strike me down in anger, here I stand. I'm your man.
Joramspor, the new fragrance.
What's Thunderstruck on Carnival?
What's Thunderstruck? Bringing joy, bringing happiness. That's just what I do.
So if my parents served,
you'd be eligible for USAA.
Grandparents.
As long as your parents joined.
What about if I can do this?
USAA, only for the military community.
The Popeyes Big Box is back, and it is big. Our juicy signature chicken or crispy tenders, 2 regular sides, and a buttermilk biscuit for just $6? We're gonna need a bigger box.
Mission accomplished!
Wichita State has outscored ECU 29-11 since the break. And the Shockers, Tracy, have really asserted their will in the paint. They are plus 20 on points in the paint. Just about everybody that gets it in there, either a guard driving or a post player, has been ultra aggressive once they get their hands on the ball.
Yeah, they definitely made it a point of emphasis coming out of halftime that they wanted to attack the middle of that zone, and they've done a great job. A couple of isolation plays for Cindy to put it on the floor, and she's finished.
And mishandled by Bennett, who had a dead layup. It's been that kind of a night for ECU. And a wild shot thrown up by McCarty. And then Asinde looks like he's going to have an and one. Everything going Wichita State's way tonight. An opportunity for a 20-point lead. So Asinde has a chance for a 19-point game to match McCulley, who already has 19.
But that was a great feed by McCauley on the cut by Asinde. And that's just being aware, you know, being aggressive by Asinde, making a great cut down the lane. And a good feed by McCauley.
Asinde's season high is 20, so she is knocking on the door of that with 6+ left in this one. What a game by Jane Asinde. 19 points, 5 rebounds. McCulley, 19.6 rebounds, a block and a steal.
And she's been very active on the defensive end and rebounding. She's so long and athletic, but her anticipatory skills are really good too.
Green bumped by McCulley, and you go back to that first half, Tracy, where Wichita State was trailing by 1 and just kind of sputtering along offensively. They had 12 turnovers in the first half. They only have 4 in the first quarter and almost a half here in the second. And ECU is a team that will turn it over, but they make their bread and butter on turning you over.
Yeah, that to me, that's been the key to the ball game. They've just done a much better job of taking care of the ball.
And Jane Asinde got tied up with Thompson, and a literal tie-up. I actually think that's a pretty good call.
I do too.
Asinde came over the top, but 4 hands were on the basketball there.
Good officiating. I don't think either player had an advantage.
Thompson actually got lucky.
Yeah.
To put a hand on the ball. So
because Asinde was up quick.
Yeah, Asinde's anticipation has just been on point here in this game.
A lot of contact there on Thompson. Thompson's really been handcuffed tonight. The Shockers have done a good job defensively on her.
Tonight, Thompson is 4 for 18 from the floor.
Yeah.
One of the better scorers in the league. Has had the going really tough. Knocked away from DJ McCarty. This will lead to a potential run out. Asinde, though, with a chase down block. Jane Asinde's second block in as many trips.
That's a big time block, Shane. That's fun. The timing on this is outstanding.
And basically just slithered right around.
And showing
Raven Johnson, yeah.
I have arrived.
Green wants another three. No,
Oh.
she hadn't had any in the second half. And a one-handed rebound by Mosley, fouled by Colbert.
That was an amazing rebound
Just
by
snatched
Mosley.
that ball out of the
She sure
air, yeah.
did. Kind of held off Colbert, and Colbert's, you know, she's no wimp. She's a really strong kid, and Mosley went up strong. Said, I'm getting this rebound,
Almost
by
looked
golly.
like to the naked eye like Mosley palmed the
I knew
rebound.
She did. That was excellent.
Mosley averages about 4.5 per. She has not scored yet tonight, now has. Mosley battled foul trouble in the first half, got her first point.
Now the Shockers need to be a little careful here. When you foul a team and you go put them on the free throw line, that allows them to put up a press.
Bremaud and Bosk Duran kind of waving people around, playing traffic cop in the back court.
Yeah, Bosch Duran, I think, has been really good this game. She's so under control. The press hasn't bothered her. Always has her head up.
One turnover in 19 minutes.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Corner three over everything, and unable to save it was DJ McCarty.
She's laughing at herself, but
boy, you wouldn't have guessed at halftime that either team would forge a 19-point lead.
No.
The way both teams were going at it.
I thought it was going to come down to the wire, but that's what taking care of the basketball does.
Creating a little space was Thompson. Tonight, Thompson finally getting loose. She's got 11. And that makes 10 games in a row now that she's been in double figures, but she has had to really work for it.
Yes. Kind of been a defend her by committee.
Asinde a little up and under. That's a career high for Jane Asinde, who's been ultra efficient tonight. And a foul on Bremaud at midcourt. And now you think maybe it's time for Wichita State maybe to dial it back a little bit. And have we arrived at a technical foul?
Yeah, on Rose, I believe.
So Bremaud was called for a foul at midcourt, and then as she stumbled toward the ECU bench, didn't really see exactly what happened after that, but one of those, you can kind of tell the technical whistle, can't you, as a former coach? There's a difference between a common foul and a technical foul.
There really is,
Yeah.
and I don't know if that's by design by officials, you know, a little bit more emphasis on
Yeah.
it, but
It's a type of a
definitely.
whistle blown that you get used to.
Like-
It's like, oh, that was not a regular foul.
Kind of like yelling at your kids, you know, don't do that, you know, don't do that and don't do that, you know, kind of how the whistles are. That's bad, but this is really bad.
So, on Bremaud's foul, that puts the Shockers over the limit. So Rose shooting free throws. She misses the first. And there was a technical foul, I believe, on Rose subsequently. So Rose now has 3 points, all from the line, and now Bremaud will shoot the technical free throws for Wichita State. Yeah, so that was a foul, technical foul on Rose. That's her second personal.
You know, and Rose is a nice player. She's their primary ball handler. She's played 32 minutes, and it just hasn't been a great night for her. She hasn't shot the ball well. You know, and she has 4 turnovers, so. But she's fighting hard and playing hard, and these kids want to win, you know. No matter if they're down by 20, they're going to fight to the end. You got to appreciate that about Coach McNeil's teams.
So both teams split a pair at the line. Common foul, then the technical foul. Both teams are over the limit, so we'll be shooting free throws for the final 4. In a game that Wichita State seemingly has in hand here. It was a really strong third quarter by Wichita State. 18-6, a run coming out of the break.
Nice job by Adams to cut Asinde off. Nobody's been able to do that when she's put the ball on the floor, but she did a good job and walled her up and forced her to kick it out.
Now Colbert with a reverse, left it a little short right on the doorstep, and out of bounds it goes. back to ECU. She was taking a little bit smaller Morgan Mosley down to the post, but Trajana Colbert couldn't finish. So ECU gets it back. Wichita State's pressure dialed back just a little bit. Still pressuring every pass. So.
Yeah, they want him to take off some time.
Three-pointer rattles in by Morgan Mosley. That's their first three-point make of the second half. They hit 6 in the first, and they're now 1 of 7 in the second half. And a risky pass that didn't make its way through, and this is a anatomy of a comeback right here. This is what Wichita State certainly doesn't want to have happen.
Yeah, that's what that press is for. They want to entice you to make that cross-court pass, and then they're just reading the eyes and zoning in on it. So DJ needs to do a better job of ball faking, looking away from where she wants to go, and Shockers need to bring cutters to the ball.
4 fouls now on Trajana Colbert. Green to the foul line. Her career day continues, 17 points.
Now she makes this, it cuts it down to 14. It's not out of hand yet.
Shockers generally tonight have been strong with the ball on this press. And a little curly kneel action from DJ McCarty. The fans wanted to push. The refs are letting them play a little bit now. And Colbert blows the layup, and it'll stay on that end. So Wichita State had a chance to maybe deliver a dagger there, but Colbert's layup was way too hard.
Yep.
So she'll go out with 4 fouls. Strong comes in, and Mariah McCulley comes in for Wichita State. So plenty of offensive firepower, but generally Wichita State, all they need is some ball handlers and free throw makers. And free throws will have.
You have to give credit to ECU. They have not died. They haven't laid down and died. They're still fighting. And
Shockers did lead by 20. It was 60-40 just a minute ago.
5 possessions, you get some turnovers and hit some buckets and shorten them. They need to lengthen the game.
McCarty's 3 out of 4 from the line tonight. That one rattles out. Shockers were pretty good before then. 73.3 on 11 for 15. And this is where it gets ultra tough for ECU because they're not a particularly good three-point shooting team, and they don't make foul shots at a really high clip either. So this is going to have to be a high-volume possession game for the next 2:52 for ECU.
Yeah, and that is hard because you want to stop the clock. You want to attack it and get to the free throw line to stop the clock. And the other thing that does is that even though you might not get points out of it, it allows you to set up your press. So, it's kind of
well, they need a whole lot of stops down here to start with if ECU wants to really make Wichita State nervous. That was a mother of all Euro steps, but they're going to get Bremaud with a foul. So one way or the other, this might turn into a game. Thompson to the free throw line. And Bremaud tried to give ground the whole way without basically just giving her a layup.
Yeah.
So Bremaud gets her second foul. Thompson's first trip to the free throw line.
That's tough. No, but that's tough because Thompson's really good. Pull-up jump shot, and you got to make her go left. I think you can't let her put the ball on the floor going right because she elevates too well on her jump shot.
And she's one player that plays a lot that is a good free throw shooter. Just
yes.
Shade under 76%. So Thompson going to the line for the first time tonight. As a team, ECU 8 for 14. That one rattles in. So Thompson with a dozen to go with Green's 18. And 1 of 2 won't do it unless, like you said, Tracy, a lot of turnovers turn into a lot of layups.
Right.
And
good decision
pretty
by
wise
McCarty,
move.
yes.
Yeah, McCarty just peels it right back out and will burn some clock. McCulley got cut off. And Asinde called for a travel.
I didn't think she did.
I was wondering where it came from myself,
Yeah.
but Asinde will have to settle for a career-high 21, at least for the moment. 21 points and 5 rebounds for her, 19 and 6 for McCulley. And a layup on the back end by Adams, her first basket.
Yeah, that's probably the first mistake Asinde's made, is you never want to help up the floor off the block. She needed to just stay back, force the jump shot, but never help up the floor for an easy dump pass for 2. You know, this is a 4-possession game. Again, I'm a little surprised that ECU is settling for them, you know, just to work the clock out. I thought she might try to trap.
Strong with a rebound. That might make it a moot point right there.
Yeah.
Asia Strong with a putback. I was just getting ready to say that possession will probably tell the tale on how aggressive Kim McNeil wants to get. And that almost went out of bounds, but off the backboard instead. And another foul on Wichita State. So Ice says Adams will go to the free throw line for 2. The foul was on Asinde, only her second. The foul is really piling up here in the second half. But again, for ECU, it's not necessarily a good thing. They're just 9 for 17 from the foul line, so they've left 8 points on the stripe.
9, yep.
Strong with a rebound, and that ought to do it.
Yeah.
So Wichita State is going to get to 2-3, 11 and 7 overall. Their homestand will continue on Saturday at noon against UCF. That'll be a toughie. ECU is going to fall to 8 and 11, 1 and 5 in the league, and the Pirates will head to New Orleans to take on Tulane.
This is a big win for the Shockers. A couple of games they lost that were close in the fourth quarter. They didn't do a really good job of closing those games out, and this is a big step for them.
They turned a 1-point halftime deficit into a runaway.
Ooh,
and
wow.
An offensive foul. So Wichita State gets a call, and Morgan Mosley picks up her 4th. I thought maybe she had 4, and I was going to say she fouled out, but that'll be that. The only mystery here is if Wichita State can get to 70. They can shoot it one more time if they want to. So an impressive Wichita State second half.
Yes.
40-23, they outscored the visitors. And a clock play signal for DJ McCarty. She's going to try to get into double figures perhaps. Got 8. She will shoot one more time, and we'll go to the free throw line. So pretty balanced effort for Wichita State. 21 for Asinde, 19 for McCulley, 15 for Asia Strong, and 8 from DJ McCarty. Thompson and Green combined for 30 of ECU's 52. So Green and Thompson, double figures. Nobody else had more than 5. And that was Taylor Bennett, who was in foul trouble.
Yeah, the Shockers did a nice job on their zone, and they took away, you know, the best scorer on the floor, which is Thompson. You know, Green had a great night, but Thompson really is their leader. So kind of as she goes offensively, they go. And
yeah, she was 5 of 19 tonight, Tracy.
Yeah,
and
that's the first open look she's had.
So she'll just about get her average.